Next on ABC7's Good Morning El Paso Weekend, Border Patrol agents now exploring body cameras in the field. Why some say this is the solution to better transparency. Also, who El Paso State delegation believes should lead the discussion on whether to close or consolidate certain El Paso ISD schools. And the Isleta Independent School District's efforts to gain support leading up to the upcoming bond election just months away. And in Storm Track weather, Dan.
We are talking winds for the next 7 days. How strong are they expected to be? I'll detail that coming up in Storm Track weather.
It's all the news you need to start your Saturday, February 21st, 2015. ABC7's Good Morning El Paso Weekend starts now.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso Weekend.
Good morning and thanks for joining us on this Saturday morning. I'm Josie Ortegon. Developing now, special traffic investigators are investigating a crash involving two cars near the 1700 block of San Antonio and Dallas. Investigators are trying to determine how the cars collided. This is video from Around the Clock news crew. At this time, we don't know the extent of the injuries of the people involved, but as soon as we get information, we'll let you know. And moving on with the first look at to Storm Track weather with the first look at your forecast this morning. Dan, we're going to need that extra hairspray today, right?
That's right. We're expecting windy conditions through most of our Saturday and our Sunday as well. But so far we have a pretty nice morning. Take a look right now from one of our WeatherNet sites. This is Tom Lee Elementary School, and you see things looking very nice. We do have some of those clouds coming through here on the picture. And our day is going to be a pretty nice one minus the winds. We have those winds starting at around noon. 70 degrees will be our temperature then, and then at 2 o'clock this afternoon, 74 degrees, 73 degrees, about 5 p.m. Taking a look at clouds and radar across the southwest. Well, things are quiet now, which is good. We have a few clouds, as I mentioned, and we showed you at Tom Lee Elementary School. And, well, we're going to be seeing those clouds increase as we go through the next few days. Currently on our WeatherNet site, sponsored by the Mattress Firm, we're at 55 degrees here at the KVIA studios, and still at 61 right now at the Tech H2O Center. Coming up, we'll be talking more about those winds and how long they'll be lasting. That's coming up. Josie?
Okay, thanks, Dan. Border Patrol agents across the U.S.-Mexico border have received numerous use of force complaints by agents. And now they'll be testing body cameras to help Customs and Border Protection determine whether cameras can be used in the field. ABC7's Jerry Nájera has more.
For years, civil rights activists and immigrant advocates have been saying there needs to be more transparency and accountability when it comes to actions by agents on the border. They say the cameras can be a powerful tool in making that happen, but some don't agree. This is Santa Teresa, a vast desert landscape with little population and activity. It's also a place where Border Patrol agents come across illegal immigrants and drug smugglers, far from where many can see, but that may change soon.
Relax.
Body-mounted cameras similar to what some police use will now be field-tested by agents along the border. The cameras show the stark reality of what happens in the field.
It is a good idea, and actually this is something that Border Network has been advocating for.
Fernando Garcia is Executive Director for Border Network for Human Rights. He says this is part of a larger reform for enforcement at the border.
This comes in the heels of a number of incidents in the last 4 or 5 years.
An example that made national headlines is the 2010 Border Patrol shooting of Agent Guereca. Guereca was shot after throwing rocks at an agent who was trying to apprehend an illegal border crosser. The agent did not face criminal charges. Garcia says the cameras can have several benefits.
One of them is to actually have more transparency and accountability.
And the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency agrees. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency says the Border Patrol anticipates the use of this equipment will also allow our community members to have more insight as to what our agents do on a daily basis and what challenges they face. A spokesperson for the Border Patrol Agents Union says that they have questions how the cameras will be used, saying they're concerned whether the cameras could be used for administrative violations. Now, these cameras have only been tested by about 36 agents in the field from New Mexico to Washington. A spokesman for the Border Patrol in El Paso tells me agents in Santa Teresa will be testing cameras soon. Reporting for Good Morning El Paso Weekend, I'm Jerry Nájera.
Okay, thank you, Jerry. And new this morning, a new study found that the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's inconsistent reporting of data can lead to a misrepresentation of the state of border security. The study was released earlier this week. The report found that inadequate data collecting and reporting practices at the parent agency of the U.S. Border Patrol doesn't adequately show the true state of border security. The study's authors argues that Homeland Security should collect and report more data to get a clearer picture about what's happening at the border. That would include better tracking how many people cross the border and how many overstay their visas, among other issues. And inmates at an immigrant detention center in Texas set several fires in protest over medical care. You can see smoke billowing from the tents at the Willacy County Correctional Center in Raymondsville. Officials say inmates set 3 fires. It started when they say some of the inmates refused to eat breakfast or perform their work duties. Apparently, the inmates are upset over the quality of medical care at the facility. According to prison officials, 2 correctional officers and 1 inmate were hurt in a confrontation. As many as 2,000 federal inmates were said to be involved. The Justice Department will seek a stay in the Texas immigration ruling that has temporarily halted President Obama's executive order. A spokesperson for the White House says the request will be filed with the court by Monday. Earlier this week, a Texas judge issued the ruling in response to a lawsuit against Obama's actions that was filed by 26 states and led by Texas. The White House previously announced it would appeal the ruling. And back here in the borderland, a convicted rapist is on the run, and authorities believe he could be hiding out here in El Paso. Frank Munoz Fernandez was released from prison earlier this month and has not registered as a sex offender as required by law. The sheriff's office says he took off his tracking device. If you have any information, please call police. And police are looking for an armed robbery suspect on the loose. These are surveillance photos of the suspect. Police say the man you see on your screen walked into the Boost Mobile on the 5300 block of Donovan, took out a gun, and demanded money. The man covered his face and head with the hood of a blue sweatshirt. Police say witnesses described the suspect as a Hispanic man in his late 20s or early 30s. If you know who he is, please call Crime Stoppers. Their number is 566-8477. And in Las Cruces, 2 men are behind bars for allegedly trying to rob a Sonic restaurant. Police say 40-year-old Ruben Armijo and 21-year-old Enrique Nerios used a car to block in one of the restaurant employees. Police say Nerios got out of the car holding a tire iron and told the employee to hand over the deposit bags. The employee said she didn't have them and says the men took off. Police say Nerios used to work at that Sonic, and Armijo, the alleged getaway driver, used to date an employee who worked at that Sonic. Both men are charged with attempted robbery and conspiracy. And a state budget bill cleared a New Mexico House committee. A panel of New Mexico lawmakers has approved a $6.2 billion spending plan for the next fiscal year. It includes pay raises for new teachers and state police officers. The full House is expected to vote on the proposal as early as Monday. Now, El Paso's delegation of state lawmakers is asking Texas Education Commissioner Michael Williams to keep a leash on the El Paso ISD Board of Managers during its final 3 months overseeing the district. Williams appointed the Board of Managers nearly 2 years ago when he ousted elected trustees in the wake of a cheating scandal that rocked El Paso's largest school district. In the letter sent to Williams, El Paso State Delegation says it would be better if elected trustees are the ones who make decisions regarding the closure or consolidation of schools. The letter also states our community, the elected trustees, and El Paso ISD's administration need more time before making these crucial decisions. According to the El Paso Times this morning, Superintendent Juan Cabrera is scheduled to present his long-term facilities and instruction plan to the board by the end of March. And meanwhile, leaders with the Isleta School District are feverishly working to gain support for the $452 million bond issuance going before voters in May. Superintendent Dr. Xavier de la Torre visited Isleta High School and spoke with teachers yesterday. De la Torre's vision involves consolidating or closing some schools. He says teachers and most staff members aren't in danger of losing their jobs despite possible school closures. Superintendent de la Torre made some comments this week that raised some eyebrows that had to do with taxpayers. We're going to play that for you, followed by his response.
Take care of you and our children. Someone else can worry about the taxpayers.
I think it was taken out of context, first of all. I think what I was trying to share with people was that simply because this is expensive, I can't retreat from it because my obligation is to be a voice for the students in the classroom, for the teachers in the classroom that at present are trying to instruct students in inadequate facilities. I wasn't trying to be cavalier about the taxpayers and the fact that everyone's got their own financial reality and that it could be stressful and anxious for some of them.
Right now at KVIA.com to read the district's proposal and to find out how the money would be spent in your area. Just visit our homepage. You'll also find a link to the property tax calculator. And new this morning, the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality has issued a violation notice to the El Paso County alleging illegal dumping of asphalt and other materials in a closed Fabens landfill. That's according to the El Paso Times. The report alleges that County Public Works, road and bridge employees illegally dumped or disposed of paving material in the landfill, which has been closed since 1990. The TCEQ reports it is not a danger to the public, but the document states that the county never requested a permit to dispose of the material. The investigation began in December and has been turned over to the county attorney's office. In December, TCEQ officials in El Paso teamed up with the sheriff's office on this case. And still ahead on ABC 7's Good Morning El Paso weekend, winter weather still causing headaches across the East Coast and another winter storm causing terrible road conditions for drivers. We'll give you a look coming up. Time now is 8:11, or rather coming up, the long-awaited marathon race is tomorrow. We'll take a look at what your forecast looks like for the big race. Dan will have all those details for you. Time now is 8:11. Let's take a live look at traffic now. And again, we haven't heard of anything major on the roads this morning, but of course, if we do, we'll let you know as you're headed out the door. And in terms of weather, it's going to be windy out there.
Windy today, but so far our morning looking rather nice. I'll be taking a look at your current temperatures and how strong those winds will get coming up.
You're watching ABC 7, where news comes first.
You're watching ABC 7's Good Morning El Paso Weekend with Josie Ortegon and Storm Track Weather with Dan Martinez.
Welcome back. Nashville is bracing for round 2. The city suffered a deadly ice storm Monday and severe winter weather is returning. Rush hour traffic was heavy in Nashville yesterday. The city is expected to get a small coating of snow and then freezing rain. Yesterday, the threatening combination